TEK on day one. Could ARK Ascended be playable next week? And ASA is on Steam, but hidden to everyone. You're right, kids, it's Raasclark, and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. So, the community crunch dropped last night to a bit of disappointment, not gonna lie. I think a lot of us, including myself, was having some hope with tonight's, this weekend's ARK news. We are expectedly 2 weeks away from ARK Survival Ascended dropping, and this didn't tell us nothing. We didn't get the Dreadnoughtus dossier. We got a summary of the creatures that we get to look forward to expect for ASA, from the Phasolosuchus on Scorched Earth, the Gigantoraptor on Rag, and the Yiling on Aberration, and the Shastasaurus on Center. And that was it. A reminder about official server saves, some shout outs, one lovely one to Songbird and her lovely singing, and King Daddy D Mac, good to see you in the crunch as well. Certainly leaving a lot of dismay on where the hell is ARK news for ASA, man. The game's coming out in 2 weeks and you're giving us nothing. In fact, it even reads like we might not even get anything next week. This crunch left us with a feeling, be on the lookout for the concept of that in the community crunch next week. No touching upon ASA, leaving everybody very concerned. What is ARK Survival Ascended? Is it a top secret government project that's locked away that nobody is allowed to witness until the very day it arrives? Why the secrecy? What is going on in Wildcard Studio headquarters? We need to know. Good grief. This is the most top secret project ever known to mankind, I think. I've lost it. I've officially lost it. But never mind, never fear, people. We do have some bits of information to work on if we headed to the Discord and went through the posts by the devs, Dolly and Jad. Dolly first teased us with the Rock finally in ASA. Obviously not, but it certainly satisfied my taste buds on wanting an ASA Rock. But no, not that. Not even Dolly telling us next week is the weekend to look forward to. Why didn't you say this in the crunch? But apparently this is the one next weekend. It's all going off. We'll wait and see on that one. Dies and Mutations. Apparently we are getting new ones for ARK Survival Ascended. It was simply hinted, winked by Jat in the ARK Discord at the question of, can we expect to see more colours of dinos? And yes, is the question answered there. We will see those. What those are, who knows? We could be seeing different shades of different colours now, so we're able to create very dynamically well illustrated portraits. Or it's going to be just more bright, beautiful, weird colours out in the wild. What more different ones are out there? I really don't know at this point. There's already a lot in ASC, but they're coming. They're coming, so, you know, look forward to those. And there's going to be an easier way to access the shoulder pet inventory as well. Cinemat crops, anyone? I guess. Imagine we're going to get a pinwheel feature like we did the cinemat crops for our shoulder pets. But, you know, good to see. We're going to get more colours for ASA and look forward to seeing what exactly those are. For those interested, the kibble system that you know and love in ARK Survival Evolved, whereby you use certain eggs from certain tiers of creatures to make into the kibble of choice to tame certain creatures, it appears that is going to return. The devs confirmed it'll be the latest version of that system. In a question to, will it remain? Maybe I'm getting that a little bit wrong. Maybe it is a newer version, but latest version to me reads like the kibble system that we know today, meaning at least what you feed the creatures and how you get the eggs, maybe, will be the same. Whether you actually tame the creatures the same way remains to be seen. The devs seem to be alluding it might be a bit different, but we don't know because we've seen nothing. And Jat mentioned in the Discord in response to having so many creature votes that we could see a creature TLC vote. TLC, tender love and care to the creatures that we haven't seen since I think 2020 on the Stego and the Mammoth. It'd be good to see some of these return and voted by the community for the first time in ARK's history. Could be happening for ASA, though simply just mused around. Don't take this one as a concrete thing that will happen, but fingers crossed it does. If you didn't catch it a few weeks ago following the giant load of information we got that weekend, I was invited to a roundup with Mr. Dolphin, Hillbilly Willy, Sharkist, Omni and Xphibo to talk about a lot of things surrounding ARK Survival Ascended and touched certainly on a lot of concerns for that island base experience. I think a lot of people, including myself, I think even the devs themselves are trying to replicate a feel vibe that we got way back in ARK's early days with this launch of ASA. No engrams, all the stuff that you can unlock after Island, you won't see any of that. And with some cave rebalancing, hopefully forcing people to build more out in the open, it did get me thinking, wondering, TEK, what is TEK going to look like? Whilst we know there's going to be smaller TEK TPs, is it going to be harder, more difficult to obtain TEK from day one to encourage that more primitive style of play starting out for ASA? It turns out no, and is confirmed, Island TEK will be available day one. Although other TEK from other maps, you'll find them to be unlocked later on. So stuff like the cruise missile, we won't find. Rock Drake TEK saddle, of course, because, you know, no Rock Drakes, you won't see that one. TEK claws, you won't see those either at launch. TEK grenade launcher is out as well. TEK lights, I guess we won't see those either. TEK railgun, TEK sensor, TEK shoulder cannon, TEK sleeping pod, hover skiffs, no exomechs and no hover skiffs. Though seemingly pretty much everything else we are going to be able to unlock on day one, including, yes, TEK dedicated storage. That was confirmed by Jat as well, and it grates me a little bit, I'm not going to lie. I'm hoping that TEK will be much more difficult to obtain even still, despite it being available on day one, because, you know, the people out there, especially on PvP, will be racing to get to this, and perhaps will just bypass that enjoyment, those first few months that people had of PvP in ARK before TEK. It would be a shame for us not to at least enjoy that for a short period of time before TEK comes into play. And, well, just hoping that the bosses are going to be super hard to beat. And with pathfinding seemingly improved, maybe they will be, maybe they'll be much stronger. If I were the devs, I would make them just ridiculously impossible to beat. Think back to the bosses of old before they got nerfed. There was like a 67% patch nerf once upon a time. I remember that one. Before that, the bosses were ridiculous. So we'll see what happens there. And speaking of the TEK skiff being abandoned, it did get me thinking, and we touched upon this in that conversation as well, the Rhino Natha. I just don't feel like it sits right on the island. I know PvE players will be certainly happy, and it seems the vote may have been outweighed there by those players. Why not? Another creature is another creature. Enjoy it for the island, and certainly helps, benefits the experience. But I would argue that it's going to hinder the experience. I think the idea of ASA's launch is that initial struggle and grind. All the easy stuff, all the ways to make the game easier for you can come later. Like, enjoy the struggle whilst you've got it, because once you've got the easy things thrown in that makes the grind a doddle, I guarantee you'll yearn for this experience once again. And the Rhino Natha does that for PvE. PvP, a whole new kettle of fish, like sniping from and such, and it being apparently just a ridiculously OP thing. And aesthetically, I don't feel like it fits the appearance of other creatures, dinos, the prehistoric vibe that we've got of the island. I think, yes, definitely need to see it, great to see it, but just not at launch maybe. That's my opinion anyway. And it's interesting to see the vote is very much split on the Rhino Natha coming, and we'll wait and see if it definitely does. Probably will. Apex, more Apex. You know him. We've done a few collabs with Apex in the past, did a bit of Monarchy with Apex. Hope you're doing well, by the way, if you watch this, mate. He's been certainly being a bit more diverse in recent times, trying a bunch of different games, and it's great to see his success. Dropped a tweet regarding ARK and ASA and its Steam release, with him being under the impression that anything put on Steam store for you to observe and download from has to be put on there 14 days, 2 weeks prior to the game being available. With the Addams Family Gaming originally picking up on this and doing a video themselves, going in depth on what it means, what early access means, and certainly opening up a giant discussion. A lot of creators jumped on this following this video right here. Please go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. And everyone was under the assumption, does this mean ASA is going to be delayed? If we're not seeing it on Steam and it needs 2 weeks, does it mean a definite delay indeed? Well, our good friend Jade picked up on this and raised awareness that no, in fact, you can just simply put your game on Steam and keep it hidden so nobody knows it's there, and that's how you get around that scenario of making sure you meet the Steam requirements, but the game still being out on time. To confirm, the devs have reaffirmed even last night that the game is still scheduled for the end of the month. I know, but it certainly is, and this seems to be perhaps the way they was getting around it. Well, it was clearly confirmed by Jat and Jolly that yes, this is on Steam. They can see it. In fact, they are playing it. Jat has already got 506 hours in ARK Survival Ascended, and Dolly has got 17 hours put into it, even telling us the achievements we can expect for this, 32, which seems to be exactly the same achievements that we got before. There is 32 achievements for ARK Survival Evolved, so perhaps these are exactly the same. Shame to not really take advantage of that and introduce some new achievements. Maybe not. Is it photoshopped? No, the devs have confirmed they are playing, and this is ARK Survival Ascended as they can see it, but none of us can see it. With Jat double confirming that it is a hidden game. So it's out there on Steam, they see it, we don't see it, meaning it's going to be ready for the end of the month. Somehow. And just to reconfirm, I did go looking for it. Nah. There's no way of tracking it down anywhere on Steam. So we're going to have to just keep waiting to see if we see it on Steam ourselves as and when. And I really think they need to do it sooner than later. Whilst there is some big secrecy surrounding ARK not being on Steam, not being out there anywhere for us to tuck into and start getting little snippets to get ready for when it drops at the end of the month. One thing I'm very concerned about for a lot of players out there is PC specifications. How do you know if you have a good enough PC to play ASA? You don't until we get told that. But with 2 weeks possibly seemingly to go until ASA's launch, it's leaving very little time for anybody to get those parts. It's like, is it going to be on the same day? You need a 40 series graphics card. Go, 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 go! Or part of the challenge, you got to run out and get yourself a 40 series card and get it installed before ARK Survival Ascended launches that very same day. Come on! Oh God. I think the PC specs need to perhaps be addressed really, really soon for those players out there. It would suck for some players ready and waiting, booking time off for this, and then they find out their PC can't run it. That would super suck. This was big in the news this week. Athos, a ARK ripoff, it seems. Very much looking a lot like ARK, taking advantage of UE5. In fact, they got in touch with me to ask me if I wanted to play it a few weeks ago, and not gonna lie, I saw it and just said, nah, you're alright, mate. But a lot of people picked up on this, and seems a lot of people want me to play this. I guess if you do, comment below, let me know. It is the embodiment of Uncanny ARK, without a doubt, with a lot of items, dinos, descriptions, all looking vaguely similar to ARK, including thick neck. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we will play this. I'll have a think about it, but yeah, just wanted to talk about that. Everyone was talking about it, and they was also talking about this. Noise, who are running the marketing for ARK Survival Ascended on behalf of Snail Games, are going to be at TwitchCon from October the 20th until the 22nd with a booth at 138 and an email that was sent out to everybody hoping that we could join them at the Las Vegas Convention Center, where they're going to offer fun activities at their booth, including an on-site quest for our new Arcade Ambassador program, which certainly got a few people's interests perked. Jade originally covered this, I think, first. That it says to get a head start on earning digital tickets. Now, how are you going to earn these tickets digitally if you're not giving them an account for you to be playing with in the game of ARK Survival Ascended. How are they going to give you those? Or is it going to be through your streamer login details? If the former, then maybe we will see ARK Survival Ascended at TwitchCon with noise. But as Jade mentioned in his video, if this was happening, surely Wildcard would have discussed stuff about ARK today, and they haven't. So it does make me think maybe not, we will see ARK at TwitchCon. But if they were to have a playable version of ARK Survival Ascended for people to check out at this convention, I'm sure Wildcard would want to be the first to show us something prior to this event. So it does leave me with a shadow of a doubt, though I guess anybody who's attending that event, gonna have to get my passport out, could maybe be seeing ARK Survival Ascended at TwitchCon. And to wrap up, Dolly did say next weekend is the weekend to look forward to. It's the crunch after today's crunch is the one we're going to get some juicy information regarding ARK Survival Ascended, hashtag secret government project, and hopefully find out so much more about it. Obviously, we are all super excited to look forward to it. And there's now a website, playark.com, that's got all the information contained in all one place for you to check out if you want to check out everything and everything. It's got music playing, it's got pictures rotating. Go and check this out. I'll leave a link to this in the description as well. And that's it! Excitement, hopefully, next week starts. Until then, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, peace out.